Electronic marking of student work, looking at some compatibility issues. I prepared a sample marked document with a variety of techniques. We've got inline text that's been styled, callouts that can be used to identify a precise point of interest, a comment which indicates when you click on it the point at which it is inserted, highlighted text, floating symbols, added text using track changes, which is not easy to spot unless you have got it set up to make it stand out. Comments using inking, and further comments in the callout. Now, after we have carefully marked a piece of work, we may think that this is what the student will see. Unfortunately, this isn't necessarily the case. This document has been prepared in Windows 2013 and saved as a docx. If we load this into LibreOffice, here we have the same file. The inline text has lost its formatting. The callout has changed style and lost its pointer. The floating symbols are no longer floating, but the text is spaced around them. We can see where the comment is being applied. The style of inking makes it almost unreadable, but we can see what has been added with track changes more clearly. If we save the original document as Word 2003, it improves slightly in LibreOffice. But if we compare them, note that the text has actually changed its formatting. So we're not starting lines in the same place. This callout has been moved and it's no longer pointing to the same point as before. We can see the floating symbols, but because the text has moved underneath them, they're no longer marking the correct points. The same applies to the inking comments. Here we have highlighted this part. The highlight is now on a different piece of text. Our tick has also had the text underneath it shift. Not the most desirable situation. Another possibility is the student might view in Google Docs. So if we load the document into Google Docs, again we've lost the formatting in the inline text. We've got a callout, but it isn't pointing to the same place. Our inking comments are present, but are no longer overlaid over the text. The formatting of the text has changed. We have got one symbol but not the others, and again the text has moved underneath them. We do have the word comment, but no obvious indicator of where it applies, although if we do look for it we can see the highlighted point. If we go to the 2003 document in Google Docs, again we have different changes. Call out is present, but the pointer is now in a completely different location. We've got some of the symbols but not in the same places. Our inking comments are present, but not highlighting the same points on the original as in the original document. So all in all, not very satisfactory. However, if we save our document as a PDF, so we've carefully crafted our marked document, and this time save it as a PDF. So in PDFXChange Viewer, we have the inline comments with formatting. The callouts point to exactly the same place as before. The ticks and crosses and symbols are in the correct place. Inking is visible. Track changes is visible, but I think this is a problem with Word itself, that the formatting of this next comment has been changed when we've printed. Now this is using the printer the printer in PDFXChange Viewer to print it. If we print it using the Word document option to print to PDF, we can also print the comments and have a connecting line to where they apply. This final comment in the PDF view appears to be a problem with the Word following the inking. It's changed the color of the text here and added this formatting information. If we go to Google Docs and examine our PDF, so if we look at the PDF online, and what we see is exactly the same as the PDF saved from Word 2013. So the PDF version appears to be the only compatible way of returning marked work to students that gives a good possibility that they will actually see what we intended them to see. Another advantage of returning work to student in the form of a PDF is that they can see exactly what we saw of their work. So if our system to view their material changed their formatting, this will now be visible to them in the PDF that we return. Whereas if we simply return a document and we didn't see what they intended us to see, when we return it on their system, it will be back to what they intended. So they won't be aware that what we saw was different. So the PDF seems to be the most compatible format to use at the moment.